Every data engineer is hearing the same thing right now. AI will write your SQL, AI will write your Python, AI will debug your errors, AI will build your pipelines, and AI will replace your job. But let's be honest, not every tool is useful for data engineers. Some tools actually save time. Some tools help you learn faster. Some tools help you debug faster. And some things are just pure hype. So in this video, I will break down the AI tools that can actually help data engineers, where you should use them, where you should be careful, and what is overhyped. And stay till the end because I will give you my simple recommendation. Which AI tool to use depending on whether you are a beginner, working data engineer, Databricks user, or someone building projects. Hello everyone, welcome to Big Data Fact. I am Pranit and I have 4 plus years of experience working as a data engineer. If this is your first time visiting this channel, don't forget to subscribe for more content on big data and real world insights. Before we start, one quick thing. A few days ago, I made a video on whether AI will replace data engineers, where we discussed what AI can and cannot do, who is at risk, and why fundamentals still matter. This video is different. Today, we are focusing on the practical side, the AI tools that data engineers actually use to work faster and to be more productive. Now, let's talk practically. First, one important thing, this video is not about worshipping AI, and it is also not about saying AI is useless. Both extremes are wrong. The real question is, where can AI actually help in a data engineer's day-to-day work? Because as data engineers, we don't just write code. We work with SQL, PySpark, notebooks, pipelines, data quality, errors, documentation, GitHub repos, architecture, and business logic. So I will explain each tool based on the actual problem it solves, not just features. The first tool is ChatGPT. For data engineers, ChatGPT is very useful when you are stuck at the thinking or explanation level. For example, you can use it to write the first draft of a SQL query. You can ask it to explain a PySpark error. You can ask it to review your project README. You can ask it to generate test cases for data quality checks. You can ask it to explain a concept like partitioning, joins, window functions, or incremental loads in simple terms. And if you upload structured data, ChatGPT can help you analyze that file, answer questions about it, and create tables or charts when needed. So, where does ChatGPT actually help? It helps when you have a blank page problem. You don't know how to start a query. You don't know how to explain a project. You don't know how to debug an error message. And you don't know how to structure your learning. ChatGPT is very good for getting this first draft. But here is the warning, do not blindly copy the answer, especially in data engineering. Because a query can look correct, but it still give the wrong business result. So use ChatGPT like a thinking assistant, not as the final authority. The second tool is Claude. Where I would personally use Claude is when the context is longer. For example, you have a long Databricks notebook, you have a big project README, you have multiple files in a repo, you want to understand someone else's code, you want to review a long architecture document, you want to clean up a long explanation. Claude Code is positioned by Anthropic as an agentic coding system that can understand an entire code base, work across multiple files, and help with development tasks. So, from a data engineering point of view, Claude can be useful when you want to understand a full project, not just a small code snippet. For example, you can ask, explain this pipeline end to end, find where this transformation logic is happening, review this notebook, and tell me what can break in production, and help me write documentation for this data pipeline. This is where Claude can be powerful. But again, same warning. If Claude explains your pipeline, you still need to verify the explanation. Because in data engineering, the cost of misunderstanding logic can be high. A wrong transformation can affect dashboards, reports, and business. So use Claude for understanding and reviewing large context, but don't outsource your judgment. The third tool is GitHub Copilot. This is different from ChatGPT or Claude because Copilot sits closer to your coding workflow. GitHub describes Copilot as a tool that helps improve productivity and assist as you work on code. With features like Copilot chat available in supported IDEs and other development surfaces. For data engineers, Copilot can help with repetitive coding. For example, writing PySpark boilerplate, creating helper functions, writing unit test selections, generating SQL snippets, writing data validation logic, creating logging functions, and completing repeated code patterns. This is very useful when you already know what you want to build. That is the key. Copilot is not best when your thinking is unclear, but when you know the logic and you just want to move faster, Copilot helps. For example, if you already know I need to filter null user IDs, duplicate by event ID, cast event time, and write to Delta, Copilot can help you write that faster. But if you don't understand why you're doing these steps, Copilot cannot save you. So remember, Copilot is great for speed, but you still need engineering judgment. The fourth tool is Cursor. Cursor is an AI first code editor, and the reason people talk about it is because it is designed around coding with AI inside the editor itself. Cursor's own site highlights AI powered coding assistants, autocomplete, agent workflows, and the ability to work with files and code context. For data engineers, Cursor can be helpful when you are building a project repo. For example, you have Python scripts, you have config files, you have SQL files, you have tests, you have README documentation, you want to refactor multiple files. You want to understand how the project is structured. Cursor is more useful when your work is repo-based. For example, if your data engineering project has folders like src, config, tests, notebooks, and docs, then Cursor can help you navigate, edit, and improve the project fast. But most of your work is inside Databricks notebooks, then Cursor may not be always be your first tool. So I would say Cursor is great when you are building proper project repos, but it is less important if all of your work is only notebook based. The fifth tool is very relevant for our audience, Databricks Assistant, now also referred to in docs as a Genie Code. This is probably the most directly useful AI assistant if you work inside Databricks. Database documentation describes Genie Code as a context-aware AI assistant inside Databricks that can generate Python code or SQL queries, explain complex code, automatically fix errors, and use Unity Catalog metadata to understand tables, columns, descriptions, and popular data sets. That context is important because if you're working inside Databricks, you don't always want a generic answer. You want help based on your tables, notebooks, schemas, and code. For example, you can use it to generate a Spark SQL code, explain a PySpark transformation, fix notebook errors, refactor code, understand table columns, and generate code faster inside Databricks. This is very practical for data engineers. If you work heavily in Databricks, this tool can save time. But same rule again, do not blindly trust generated code, especially when it touches production tables. Always check the logic, always verify row counts, and always validate the output. Because AI can help write code, but it does not own your production data. You do. Now let's talk about what is hype. First hype, AI will replace data engineers completely. I don't agree with that. AI will replace some repetitive work. AI will reduce time spent on boilerplate. AI will help with debugging, documentation, and first drafts. But data engineering is not only code generation. A real data engineer understands where the data comes from, how it changes, how it should be cleaned, how to handle duplicates, how to validate row counts, how to design pipelines, how to explain business logic, and how to fix production issues. AI can write a SQL query, but AI may not know whether that SQL query gives the correct business answer. Second hype, AI generated code is automatically production ready. No, AI generated code is a starting point, not the final version. You still need code review, testing, validation, and monitoring. Third hype, one AI tool can do everything. Again, not really. Different tools help in different places. ChatGPT may help with thinking and explanation. Claude may help with long context and project understanding. Copilot may help inside the IDE. Cursor may help with repo level coding. And Databricks Assistant may help inside Databricks. The smart move is not to chase every AI tool. The smart move is to know where each one fits. Now, here is my simple recommendation. If you are a beginner, start with ChatGPT. Use it to understand concepts, review SQL, explain PySpark, improve your README, and prepare for interviews. If you're working on large projects or long documents, use Claude. It can be useful when you want to understand or review bigger context. If you're writing code daily inside an IDE, use GitHub Copilot. It helps reduce repetitive coding. If you're building proper GitHub project repos, try Cursor. It can help with multi-file project work and refactoring. If you're working inside Databricks, use Databricks Assistant or Genie Code because it is closer to your actual tables, notebooks, and platform context. But the most important recommendation is this: do not use AI as a replacement for thinking. Use AI as a faster way to execute your thinking. This is the right mindset. The future data engineer is not someone who refuses AI, and it is also not someone who blindly copies AI. The future data engineer is someone who understands data systems and uses AI to work faster. So let's quickly recap. ChatGPT helps with first drafts, explanations, SQL, PySpark documentation, and learning. Claude helps with long context, larger code, or document review and project understanding. GitHub Copilot helps with coding speed inside development workflows. Cursor helps when you are working on project repos and multi-file coding. Databricks Assistant helps inside Databricks with SQL, Python, code explanation, and error fixing. But none of these will remove the need for fundamentals. You still need SQL. You still need data quality. You still need pipeline design. You still need business logic. And you still need production thinking. If you want, I can make the next video on how to use AI in a real data engineering workflow, from SQL review to Python debugging to README creation. Comment AI if you want that video. If this helped, drop a like and subscribe to Big Data Factory. This is all for today. We'll meet you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep building. Bye bye.